Pokémon Red and Green were released in Japan February 27th, 1996. It was a big hit there, as was the enhanced version of the game, Pokémon Blue, which was released in October 15th, 1996. However, there was a third and final enhancement to the beloved Game Boy game that was released in September 12th, 1998, known as Pokémon Yellow, which is the game I'll be reviewing for today. You begin the game in your room, and you walk downstairs, and you see your mom saying, "Right, all boys leave home someday. It said so on TV. Professor Oak is next door looking for you." Okay, now, I'm not gonna beat a dead ponyta with this talk about 10-year-olds going on their own, but I am. Sending a 10 or 11-year-old boy out in such a hostile environment, you might as well put them in a volcano or something. This is child abuse. Like, to give you a perspective, let me give you a perspective real quick. So, in between Pallet Town, which is the game part that you started, you go, like, in between that and Viridian Forest is just Viridian Town. So you could pretty quickly go through Viridian Town. I guess, I forget, I think you go through Route 1 through Viridian Town. I believe it's Route 2 you go through, but I'm not entirely sure, but you could very easily go to Viridian Forest. Now, there are many dangerous Pokemon. Like, all these Pokemon are dangerous in their own way, but one Pokemon that definitely, let's just say that it sticks out, is Pidgeotto. Now, I have Pidgeotto up on screen now, and it doesn't look too bad. It looks like a normal cartoon bird. But here's Pidgeotto compared to Pidgeotto's size compared to a human. Now, I also want to show you its Pokedex and its Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Pokedex entry, so I'll give you some time to read it. Now, as you can see, these are some treacherous forests that we got here. Some treacherous creatures. Chances are you might not make it out alive. Let's just say that. Now, you wander, you walk around the town, and eventually your curiosity points you into the direction of the tall grass. And you run into the iconic character Professor Oak, and he warns you not to go into the tall grass. But then he's jumped by a Pikachu, and thankfully he had a Pokeball with him, and he uses that Pokeball to catch the Pikachu, and you and him return to the lab. Now, when you get to the lab, we meet a character. You could call him by any name, but for the sake of simplicity for this review, I'm going to call him Blue. Now, Blue is whining about how he wants a Pokemon, and Oak says, "Oh, I'll give you one later." So, Oak is about to give you a Pokemon, and this Pokemon is Eevee. Now, Eevee is a Swiss Army knife of a Pokemon. It can evolve into either the Fire-type Flareon, Now, a lot of people underestimate Flareon's a good Pokemon, especially in this game, because Flareon has just simply excellent physical attack. Even though it's not stab, it's just excellent physical attack. It can rip through many walls, and it could use its Fire Spin attack to just trap you into a 2 to 5 turn loop of damage, and your opponent it can't do anything. Not only that, but you could stack on poison damage, leech seed damage, or burn damage, and you just stack those on, and your opponent's basically done for. Especially, well, they probably be able to make it out alive in full health, depending on their level. If it's simply the fire spin, but if you stack those status conditions onto the fire spin, it's gonna be bad news for them. So Flareon, excellent Pokemon, which Eevee can evolve into using the Firestone. And then there's Jolteon. Now Jolteon is great because he's an electric type, and he's very good against many. Electric type attacks are good against flying types and water types, which are very common types in this game. And he's very fast, so he could easily sweep through teams. You could use him to just bulldoze through many trainers, such as bird catchers and fishermen. Is it called bird cat? I don't know what the bird keepers, or whatever that trainer class is called. You could go blaze through them. You could run through them easily. You could use Thunder Wave to paralyze Pokemon to make them easier to catch. So overall, Jolteon is a great Pokemon to use as well. And then we have Vaporeon, which is just an absolute tank. Just can tank many attacks. Excellent defense. And it not only does it have excellent defense, but it can also use the Surf HM, which is good because you go on water, which is essential to get in not only the 7th gym badge, but get in through the Pokemon League. So Vaporeon has an essential move that it can learn. Plus, it knows Ice Beam, so it will be very useful against the person who is now currently the champion at this part of the game, Lance. Very good against Lance, especially his Dragonite, which has a 4 times weakness against ice techniques. So overall, Oak is very generous with the Pokemon that he's given us. A very generous gift that he's given us. Eevee is a like I said before, a swift army knife. It can be good in many situations. So we walk up to the Pokeball, about to take Eevee, about to nickname him. And then... Psych! And then... Blue comes along, Oak's dumb-fucked grandson, I swear, that fucker. He takes the Eevee like some scumbag. He's a scumbag, I tell you. Especially now that I'm laying it all down, how good the Eevee is. When you lay it all down, it's a shame, because he now, all that power that I just described that Eevee contains, it's his now. It's now Blue's. And you'd think, Oak's just gonna say, give back the Eevee to Red, which from now I'm gonna call the main character's name Red. Give it back to Red. But no, Oak does not do it. He says, and I quote, Alright then. The Pokemon's yours. I was gonna give you one anyway. And then he gives you the crappy Pikachu that he caught just 5 seconds ago. A Pikachu, I mind you, that doesn't even want to evolve, so it's trash in the late game. I guess it's decent in the early game, but in the late, it becomes useless. So instead of getting the powerhouse that is the choice to have one of the three evolutions, Eevee evolutions. That's why it's called evolutions. Instead of that, we get this crappy Pikachu. So then, alright, nothing can be done, so you try to leave Oak's lab, and then Blue challenges you to a fight. Now, thankfully, at this point of the game, this particular Pikachu just wipes the floor with Eevee, because Eevee's not too good. The reason why it's good is because of its evolutions, but in this current moment, Pikachu just wipes the floor with Eevee. If you know how to play Pokemon, even if you don't know how to play Pokemon, you should probably know what's going on, know enough about common sense to beat Eevee. So yeah, the first battle against Blue, easy battle, but with that Eevee of his, it's unpredictable. At this point, it's unpredictable what way he will use the Eevee, because Eevee is a very versatile Pokemon, so who knows what type of team Blue will build in the future. But for now, Blue is defeated, and you move on to the first route.